Hey guys, I just got a brand new bullet journal and the cover was just so beautifully bland and toned that I had to draw on it. So I'm going to show you what I did. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I think I've talked about this before, but in case I haven't, I'm gonna just do it anyway. I really want to get better at traditional art because I've focused a lot of the last couple years on digital art and just getting better. And I've gotten to a point where I feel like I am comfortable and like my progress has been steady, so I feel like I'm getting somewhere. But when it comes to traditional art, I feel like I don't know, I'm just behind. So I want to get better at it. So here's just me attempting to find some fun way to exercise my traditional artistic abilities. I got this brand new bullet journal. I've been using it to keep track of all my YouTube stuff, basically, so that I can plan ahead if I need to and make sure everything gets done and not upload something that's missing something important. So it's been working really, really well for me. But every time I looked at the cover, while I do enjoy a nice blank space on my cover, I thought, you know what, my last journal was all black and this one is all yellow. I want to change it up a bit. I want some color, something fun, something to look at. So here I am just drawing a character. Since again I'm not entirely comfortable with my traditional art, I decided to draw something extremely, like whenever I sit down and sketch something on like a napkin, it's this. So I thought I could try and do that better. So it's not on a napkin, like actually put some effort into it and maybe it would look cool. And I'm really glad that I did because it's something that I'm comfortable with. So putting in a little bit more effort into it made it look really, really good. And I'm really proud of it because I really enjoy being able to create art and then you're able to hold it in your hands later. And that's not something really digital art can do unless you get it printed or get stickers. Otherwise, there isn't much more you can do. It's stuck in the computer. It's just trapped in there like a prison. And so being able to do traditional art is just something I really want to do. So that is why I am doing it, as I said. I'm really excited about this picture. Can you tell? I really like it. It's so fun. It's really simple, but it just makes me happy. I think it's that giant smile with the giant teeth, probably. I think I made the teeth a little too big, but I also really love it, so I love it so much. And then I use this white acrylic paint marker thing to color in the teeth. And since the cover of my journal is actually this toned yellow color, I can use colors like white and draw on top of them, as long as it's an opaque white, of course. And it just makes any element that I paint in white really pop out from the paper because the paper's mid-tone, and now I'm adding the light, and then I can also add dark with the line art, and it adds so much more va-va-voom, I think, because when you use white paper, it's up to you to add all the tones. Like, you've already got the highlight, like, you gotta work with what you got, but when you use a toned paper or sketchbook, as I am, you get more control over where the little highlights are, and I don't have to color the entire page with like a light shade of something to be able to make the eyes pop. So it's really, really fun, and I'm really glad that I did that. It's just so cool. I need to get more into this. It's like I'm just like now discovering the joys of traditional art, because back when I used to do a lot of traditional art, it was just because it was the only thing I could afford. I had a couple colored pencils and some sketchbooks, and I just made art. But now that I have a job, like I work a lot, I can afford to try all these new things, and it's just, I don't know, it's so much more fun. It's brought the fun into art. So, can you tell I'm excited? So fun. Here I also had eyelashes and a little bit of blush. Again, just trying to use as much color as I can without going super saturated. So I was trying to be kind of earthy and keep to the tone of the sketchbook. Well, the cover of the journal, I mean. And yeah, I used a lot of this like blush color. I had a couple shades of that in these markers. I got these new markers called master markers, and I think I've mentioned them before, but I am planning on doing a full review of them. I'm just trying to use them a little bit more so that I can do a review, because they're a little bit more on the expensive side, and I want to be well informed when I make the review. But I will have a link in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. I'll do that. I'll be good. I'll do that. And then also, the markers are master markers, and then the what are those called? This brush pen that I'm using is also a master brand brush pen. So I'm using, those two are both the same brand, and I actually quite like them. But again, I'll hold most of my thoughts for the review. Yeah, if you also can notice is that this video or speed paint, is almost, I think it's 90% in real time. Isn't that cool? I don't know if it's stressing anybody out. I was watching it a little bit and I was like, it's kind of stressing me out. I feel like I'm waiting for things. But that's the real time. And I thought it'd be really fun, so I thought I'd try that. Let me know if you like that. If you like it in this weird jump cutty real time video. Let me know. Because if you hate it and if it stresses you out, I won't do it anymore. But I also really like it because it's kind of cool. I think it's cool seeing the speed at which I work. Even if it's got all those jump cuts in it, you know? It's really cool. You can actually, like, see me come up with the ideas as I go and mess up as I go as well. You'll see I gave her blue hair. I didn't think about it going in, but I saw this blue marker and I was like, I'm gonna use that. I probably should have put more thought into a color scheme, but with the toned sketchbook, I keep saying sketchbook, it's a journal. With this toned cover, all the colors seem to sort of like become one cohesive color scheme. Like I avoided most of the really saturated colors, but I think because I did that, every color I use, you can see some of the tone behind it, and it almost made everything look so much more cohesive and like it was meant to look that way, even though it was all kind of just one big accident that just turned out all right. So yeah, and I also gave it stripes because that's just what I do when something looks a little too bland. I add some stripes. I also add some stripes later somewhere else. And that happened. And then also to make her pop a little bit more, and because again it's a tone cover, got it. I want to make it pop, so I'm using some more of that acrylic white marker to just make her like sort of like come forward in the picture. It's not really as obvious on camera, but looking at it on my desk, it really does help. Like it surrounds her whole body and separates her from the cover. And then I realized it wasn't really separated as much as I quite wanted. I wanted it to look like she was more jumping off the page, so I added again a stripe to the back to make it look like there is sort of a background space, and it kind of just separates her more, like I was saying. And I'm really glad that I did that. I think it looks really cool. And you can see me doing my pretending to be a ruler without using an actual ruler, which I don't really recommend if you want it to look perfect. But I am just in the mood for just winging it, so I didn't use a ruler. And then I also thought it looked still a little too bland around her neck. So I gave her a bunch of bling bling, some white acrylic jewelry. And then even that looked a little too simple, so I went in with the brush pen and added a little bit like lines around it, just make it separate from her skin. And I really like it. I think this turned out really cute. And I also added a couple more eyelashes. Anyway, let me know if you like this style of video. I also gave her more eyelashes because I wanted her eyes to pop. Because what's the point in drawing a girl if you're not gonna make her eyes look ginormous and her mouth look like they could fit a baseball inside of it? Like, well, I mean, what's the point in art if you don't do that, you know? Oh, and I added some more details. Anyway, this is just about at the end of the video. I really want to thank you for just watching my videos and commenting. It really helps me get up out of bed in the morning. You have no idea. Like, there's days when I just don't really want to, and then I remember that somebody cares, and it means the world to me. So thank you very, very much, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next week in a brand new video, and I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye.